Labour very nearly got away with rigging elections in their favour by scrapping voter ID laws and giving votes to 5 million extra foreign nationals, because this was in the news about a week or so ago when we were all too busy talking about grooming gangs to notice. They thought that we wouldn't see it, but it's back in the news again today, back on the agenda, because Elon Musk shared Darren's tweet on this. So Darren brought this up today, and he said Keir Starmer's Labour are dropping voter ID laws, meaning your parcel at the post office is more secure than your vote, giving millions of foreigners the right to vote and allowing children to vote too. Make no mistake, this is a blatant attempt to keep them in power. And Elon retweeted this, saying the only reason to ban voter ID is to commit voting fraud. Same playbook as here. And I think that this is absolutely just like the arguments that were being made by the Democrats in America to scrap voter ID. They're saying, oh, it helps increase democratic participation. It helps people who otherwise wouldn't be able to vote. I'm sorry, but we don't have an issue with people struggling to participate in alcohol consumption because they can't get an ID to go to the shops and show their ID and buy the alcohol. Okay, it doesn't seem to be a problem. Why is it that nobody is crying out for the desperate need for people to get ID so that they can buy alcohol in the shops? Even people who don't drink alcohol, if you go to buy a bottle of bleach to clean your toilet at the shop, you have to show your ID, unless you're covered in wrinkles and you look too old to be asked for an ID. Okay, you can't live your life without an ID. Everyone's got one, all right? They are using this as a way to try and win the next general election when they know that their hopes are low. And at the same time, they want to allow millions of foreign nationals to be given the vote who are not British citizens. That's not a mistake. They know exactly what they are doing. They are doing that because those 5 million people, almost all of them, will vote Labour. Okay? I know both the Tories and the Conservatives have seemed like the party of open borders, but Labour definitely more so come across as being more pro-immigration. And if they are the ones who handed them the vote in the first place, they're going to be like, oh, thank you very much. We'll vote for you on that basis. Okay, this is not a mistake at all. This is not about democracy. It is about thwarting it. So let's have a look at the details of what is being proposed. So ministers are considering plans to overhaul the way elections are held by scrapping voter ID laws and giving 5 million foreign nationals the right to vote in UK elections. That is a heck of a lot of people and could have a very significant impact on how a general election goes. That's a huge number of people. And also bear in mind, if you're given the right to vote for the first time in a brand new scheme, you might be more likely to turn out than your typical Brit who has had the vote for many, many years. It's led to accusations that the party is trying to lock in a Labour majority by removing obstacles designed to tackle voter fraud. Also bear in mind the fact that we've just had that YouGov polling come out that puts Reform at 25% and Labour at only 26%, which is pretty horrendous. They're probably freaking out thinking, what on earth can we do to make sure we still win the next election, given the public are not very impressed with us at the moment? Maybe they could just focus on delivering good policy, but apparently you gotta try and thwart democracy as well. And they've got some lefty think tank, Institute for Public Policy Research, supporting them. And they did a report on this and they said there's a clear need for a wider political conversation about the notion of citizenship and voting rights in the UK. You know what? Next thing, these open borders lot, the next thing they are going to be saying is they'll be saying that we should allow anybody around the world, even if you live on the other side of the world, to have a vote in the UK, because you know what? It's racist to only allow Brits to vote in the election for the leaders of Britain. Honestly, wouldn't put it past these nutters. It also called for the removal or relaxation of rules introduced in 2022 that force people to show photo ID before voting. That is very, very scary. If you do not have to show voter ID to vote, you don't have to show ID to vote, that really opens the door to problems with voter fraud. We have enough issues with postal voting as it is. We do not need to add into the mix problems with people turning up who do not have ID with them. Absolutely not. Why wouldn't you get people to show ID when they vote? Everyone's got one. The only reason you would claim you wouldn't have one at the voting booth is because either you're an idiot and you forgot it and you should have bloody remembered it, or because you're trying to commit voter fraud. Ministers could also consider automatically registering voters shortly before their 16th birthdays, a move that would add 700,000, again a pretty big number, young people to the electoral register each year. 700,000 a year, okay. Huge. So after 2 years, you've already got millions extra added to the electorate. Plans to expand the right to vote to 16 and 17-year-olds are already underway. They are going full throttle with this. They're going to be putting this into place. 16 to 17-year-olds being given the vote. I wonder why Labour is in favour of 16 and 17-year-olds being given the vote. Is it because they think that it's good for democracy? Option 1. Or option 2, is it because young people vote Labour or support Labour? I know we've got people are talking about a big surge in reform support amongst young people. However, on the whole, and this is very much shown in the latest data that's come out from YouGov, young people overwhelmingly support the Labour Party massively. That would be a big nice boost in votes for the Labour Party. So what a surprise that they want to add 5 million foreign nationals. That is going to be such a slap in the face to the people of this country. To say, you can just move here, and you know what then? Straight away, you can vote. Don't even need to be a citizen. No. Everyone can see what is going on here. This is total and utter nonsense. The Tories are furious about it. There are various different comments here, but I just wanted to pick out this one from Tory MP Peter Bedford, who says, "It's deeply concerning that with the many challenges facing the country, Labour has chosen to pick this as one of the top issues we face. A robust electoral system needs to command confidence from the public. Any plans to extend the franchise to 5 million foreign nationals would completely undermine this. Rather than devising ways to stitch up the next general election, the government should be focusing on the real issues affecting our constituents, be it their rising energy bills, support for the elderly following cuts to winter fuel payments, or being able to get a doctor's appointment." I think that's absolutely spot on. You should win an election by having good policy and delivering during the years that you are in government, rather than trying to rig the system so that you can win despite not having bothered to deliver anything whilst in government. It's bonkers, and people are already fed up enough with our democracy at the moment. They do not feel it's working. They keep on asking time and time again for immigration numbers to be brought down, for example. Their politicians do not listen. People keep asking for taxes not to be so high. They just keep going up. Politicians are not listening. People feel like democracy is not working. They are going to really lose faith in democracy if they see that the people at the top are changing the rules to just rig the elections. That's not democracy. Okay, this is dodgy territory, guys. And just on the voter ID point, I just wanted to show you this list, just to make it clear to you how bonkers the idea of abolishing voter ID is. Why do you think all of those countries there require voter ID? Because it makes sense. It just makes sense. The only reason you wouldn't have it is to rig the election. We're not going to let the Labour Party get away with this, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thank you for watching this video. See you all soon.
Still watching? Well, I've got a quick ask for you. Recent UK, we're fighting the woke brigade and inspiring young Brits, but we need your help to go bigger. We're hosting a fundraiser and would love you to sign up and share the link on the big day. It's easy, it makes a massive impact, and there are prizes for top fundraisers. Click the Google form in the description to join us. Cheers very much. Let's keep going together.